Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing? Today, we're going to finish off this radical looking Imperial Fist. This guy's looking absolutely badass. Last time we saw this guy, there was no highlights on the yellow, no little bits of battle damage anywhere. Now he is definitely balling. Loving him. Absolutely loving him. We're going to do a lot of freehand this evening. We've got the shoulder pad to do, and possibly something on this as well. I'm not so great at the super tiny writing, but we'll see what we can come up with for that. Going to attach the servo skull, do a little bit of weathering pigments on the base, and then he's finished. That's it. Super simple. 3 streams, and done. In the chat, we've got Jager, Woodspoon Wargame, Viking, Tizd, Codec 42, the incredible Mr. Datsun Dares, Inked Hulk, and CR Sip. How's it going, Leanne? Hope you've all had a good week so far. Crazy Ank, what up, dude? And Commissar Bob. That's alright, man. You can leave the stream on if you want and just sort of lurk, get your meeps. A very lurk-friendly stream. Though I'm absolutely never going to ask you to leave the stream on and go to bed with just the sound off. That's weird. Didn't realize that was a thing. So I decided that for the shoulder pad for this guy, because I don't want to draw a fist. That's literally the only reason. But because of that, I'm instead just going to go for rule of absolute cool. And we're going to do that instead. Because why not? When in doubt, do skulls. That's it. I'm also slightly of the opinion, I'm not sure how true this is, but I think I'm right. I'm also slightly of the opinion that in Space Marines, skulls denote, like, rank. Yeah? So a captain could have a skull insignia to show that he is a captain. And I'm thinking that because we've done such a great job on this guy, why would he not just be a Terminator captain? Without the cloak, without some of the other bollocks that comes with it. There we go. He could be a captain. Oh, we've got this little bit of metallic to finish off as well. It's only had a base coat on it. That needs definitely to have some more. Fair enough, Des. Like, Jager says, okay, so I'm showing my bloody ripper in a post sale. So passports have messed up and ended up getting one of my passports returned to sender. Definitely not happy about that one because it's going back to Japan. That sucks. That sucks. Lee, how you doing, brother? A-Cold, that sounds sick. Super sick. I could suddenly get behind football. But there we go, that's a little bit of servo skull and stuff we've got. We're keeping that really, really simple. We've done the blue because it'll stand out well from the yellow and the red. It's a strong primary colour. We're going to do nothing else on that apart from maybe get some pigments on some of that little bit of I-beam he's got there. So, freehand time. Who doesn't love a bit of freehand time? We're going for the Punisher skull. So we've got a circle, mostly, which is the head part. We've got an oblong, and then the rest of it's just kind of filler detail that we're going to put on there. But because I figured this might not take up the entire stream, and it might still, so we've given ourselves a cop-out clause if it doesn't, but we're okay on this being the entire stream. Just in case this doesn't, we'll do some laurel wreaths underneath it as well to really sell that Space Marine Captain look. Because Space Marine Captains, any kind of Imperial Commander, laurel wreaths. That's it. That's what you get. Congrats. You've been promoted. Have your skull. But have some flowers with it. That's the way it works, right? Get your promotion. Flowery skulls. So we've got a lot to potentially do. Commissar Bob, peace out, brother. We need to get that placement just right. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some water, and I'm going to grab some Bogan Brown, I think, because that's easy to cover up if this goes wrong. Hicko! How you doing, brother? My desk's a bit of a mess at the moment because I've still got some parcels to send out. Apologies on the delay for these. There's a couple of winners there from last weekend before last actually. Still need to be sent. It will be done this week. But we've also got good old Magnus the Red in bits today. I just finished off today the commission I was doing for those planes, the aeronautical ones. So that just got done today. So yeah, there's been a lot happening. Hey, nice one, Des. All of the people that just won the basing kit, all of those got sent last week. This week we're gonna send everything else. Had to find some boxes to pack them basically. So, Bogan Brown, it's a nice sort of ochre colour, which is halfway between a yellow and a brown, as you can see. Kind of like weird caramel kind of colour. I'm going to grab a load of water and we're going to really thin this down. So we've got some nice thin coverage on the Mini. What I want to do is I want to mark the centre point of the shoulder pad with this. So that's the middle of the sort of horizontal part. Let's, while we're working like this, let's just change the exposure a little bit. Darken that right down. There you go. So studio light giving us a little bit of reflection and make this hard to see while we're working. Anyway, Captain's approachable. We still should have hard as fucking nails. Skulls and flowers! Yes! Nailed it! Happy days, mate. Tiz, that absolutely sucks. That shouldn't ever happen. Right, if we're going to put the flowers on, we want the bottom of the skull to come down sort of no further than about here. Well, actually, no, we could probably go a little further. So I know that makes very little difference, that extra couple of mil, but it could. And that gives us room to put like a knot here, and then the wreath sort of coming up. Maybe doing like a little low laurel rather than a rounded laurel. We'll see how we get on. We want the top of the skull to be somewhere like here. So we're just marking out some like rough measurements. Tell you what though, I can't wait to get started on Magnus. Thursday is going to be an absolute baller stream. He's fucking gigantic. Like, look at this Terminator. Terminator's a fairly chunky model. This is Magnus's hair, alright? This is just his hair. What in God's name? Like, huh? The hair, just the hair, is bigger than the Terminator, which is absolutely crazy. What is this insanity that we're dealing with here? He's got bigger hair than any 80s metal band. Max needs a haircut. Too much time in lockdown. Hell no, man. Those flowing locks are going to be glorious and possibly ginger. Just throwing that one out. Could very well be ginger. That's usually less glorious. Alright, so let's just mark in a box for the lower part of the jaw. I'm trying to keep this kind of centered. That looks about right. And then let's draw a circle for our head. The nose is about halfway down the guy, so the nose would be about here. A little mark there. The eyes come out The eyes, all told, are just over, I'd say, half the length of the skull itself. So trying to keep the proportions. You haven't quite got to the point where we're doing the old, like, it's this much of a brush and stuff, but we'll get there. More hair than the Terminator got bulk. How big head you got? Dreadnought size. Give you a wig for a night. I'd say his spear is actually too big for a knight to use as a weapon. Right, so we've got this much room to turn into our width this way. So that's, call that 4mm. So the edge of the eyes come out to here. And slightly further up than the nose, obviously. Damn it, it's dried on the tip. Grab some flow improver, pop that on the palette. We can use this as a drying retarder. Grab a little of that, some of that bogra and brown. Give us a little bit more work time on the brush, just while we're getting this down. So we can come out to about here, I said, for the eyes. So that's one side, and then keep these relatively even. That there. That one looks like it's in too far. Just a touch more, like so, and we want the rounding to start around here. So this is the sort of circle we've got. And that fits one side. So who's been doing some hobby? What have you guys been doing since Sunday's stream? Who's doing some hobby tonight? So come out from there, just around the eye. The top section. So we've got a kind of light bulb looking shape right now. That's what we're going to do with our skull. TO stuff, painting custodies. I've been doing TO stuff as well, dude. Love doing TO stuff. TO stuff's always good fun. Jake, that sucks, man. Because you've got such enthusiasm for that as well. Like, that's just crazy. Where did you get it from? Is this like an eBay thing or what? Just a rando from... Oh, shit, mate. So you have absolutely no idea if it's actually going to rock up or not. That absolutely blows. What can you do, man? What can you do? Right. I just want to even that out a little bit. Because it looks very bulbous. So I think we've got the dimension slightly wrong for our mouth. That looks too thin. So we'll just thicken that up a little on both sides. Yeah, that looks better. It was looking too much like a light bulb and not enough like a skull. Now we're kind of there. That's fair. That's some sort of proof of postage then. If not, the guy's got a load of envelopes he's nicked from work and he's trying to get a small side hustle going on with a ripper. If it makes you feel any better, actually this will only make you feel worse. This will only make you feel worse, so I shouldn't say it. But I'm going to because I think it's funny. For the Necron Pylon I did early last year, it was like April last year or something. I asked the client to source some of the really small scarabs from the Tesseract Vault kit. And he found some on the internet. He got the guy to eBay them to me. Right? So, sorry, bought them off eBay and got them send them directly to me. Cool, no worries. I get this envelope turn up, right? Normal white envelope, the kind of thing you get regular office mail in. Not a windowed one, just a regular white envelope. And in the white envelope, there's meant to be 3 of these scarabs. What there actually is a big hole in the corner, and there's just nothing in the envelope. 2 weeks brews. How you doing? Thank you for that, host. Clearly, what had happened is somebody had sort of looked at this letter and gone, huh, this could be precious stones. Fuck it, it's worth it. The fuck is this? Brings joy to my heart to know that they were bitterly disappointed. It took 4 fucking weeks to get hold of a set of those. Des with the host as well. Absolute superstar. Thank you very much, dude. Right, so we have our rough outline. You've had a bad day. Unlucky, dude. Next up, we're going to do exactly the same thing we did for the chest eagle. So I've got some black, and I've got some Kador red, using Thramar black from P3. I'm going to mix these up so we get a nice dark red. Grab some flow improver to help this while we're working so thin. It's been quite a nice day today, so it's a little bit warm. Aiding in the evaporation of our paint for sure. Now we're going to draw the skull in a little bit more detail. So, we've got the 4 teeth essentially to do. We need a halfway point which is there, so we got one that's going to come in just to one side of that. Another one to come in here. And we're just roughing this out for now, so it's going to look, it could possibly still look garbage when I finished it, you know. Maybe the person knew exactly what it was. He might have done. Kodak, most of the time I use water if I'm using a brush. But the reason I'm using flow improver is because it contains a drying retarder, so it helps slow down the drying process, right? And a big part of the reason we're doing that is because we're working on such a small thing that if the tip of the brush, which holds a very small amount of paint, starts to dry, it throws us off entirely. Flow improver for airbrush is actually not an airbrush product. Bear with me on this, right? If you go back in time through Vallejo's line of products, before they had an airbrush range, they actually had something called Flow Improver. And what Flow Improver was designed to do was to aid with the paint coming off a brush. Just a normal, everyday brush. Because it stops it from drying so much, it stops your bristles from getting slightly clogged up and everything else. And when they translated everything into an airbrush range, so all the air paints came out and so on and so forth, they just took their regular flow improver and changed the label to have that top bit on. That was it. This isn't actually an airbrush product. It's a product that was designed for brushwork. So, technically speaking, it's better at doing what I'm doing with it right now than anything else. Right, the nose. Need to go. Two small holes for this. These are off at an ever so slight angle. Flare out a little at the bottom. I'm going to come in with some yellow ink and do any tidy up that we need to on this later on. So it doesn't matter if it looks a little bit piggy for now. We'll get there. The nose knows. Yes, it does. Right, the eyes. This is the bit that's sort of the most concerned. What the shit is this? That's right, you check out that skull. What do you think? Got a comment and critique? the hell? Right, but one thing about the eyes is the bottom of them. So it comes in here. There's a slight dip to it. And then the top. Let's do the side. Let's work up here first. So that comes around on a slight curve. And they are relatively shallow. So we'll start off by making them too big, because we can cut down a lot easier than we can bulk up. And we'll see what they look like this. We'll try and get them relatively even for now. See what we can get. Expect a 23. I don't understand this. Yeah. Crown blade. Absolutely. But I just need these scarabs. Great. Great. Servo Fly got a shout out. Well done. Little tiny dude. Beloved by all. Alright. And then we want to do a slightly smaller start to the eye and then work up. Larger than it will probably be at the end, but that's already given us something that's kind of the right dimension. So I'm okay with this. Not doing a fist. No. Well, you at the start, Crown Blade. We explained all this. Mr. Johnny Come Lately over there. Alright, let's get a nice strong border up here. Rule of cool, mate. Not rule of fist. Oh, you should have called it rule of wrist. Going for good old Punisher Skull. Any more tournaments planned, Jay, apart from No Retreat epicness? Well, funny you should ask, Mr. Wooden Spoon Wargaming, because this Sunday is the next tournament that I'm running. Again at Atlantic Games, my local, and it's called the Bad Luck Brawl because it is Sunday the 13th. Couldn't not. And on Thursday's show, we're doing the lists. Everyone loves the list review show. I don't know why. I just sit and read off Battlescribe while I paint. Everyone loves that shit. But that's what we're doing on Thursday. Doing a list review show. We're going to be starting Magnus. Going to do a fuck ton of airbrushing. And list reviews. Okay, we're getting there. There's obviously a little bit of disparity between the eyes. The nose has basically disappeared, but we are getting there. He's veteran Terminator Frank Castle. Why would he not be? You know, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only the Punisher. He's going to get you. He's changed his uniform a little bit. You know, that's all. It's just a minor plot adjustment. And, you know, nothing to see here. I need a very, very short word for castle to go down here now. So it could have to be like Rook or something like that. Because that's got to be a connection now. Has anyone done a list / spreadsheet of the contents of the rival craft boxes? No. Yellow is the new black. I appreciate this. Hey, the app is awesome. I genuinely like it. Like, people shit on it all the time, but the rulebook section of it is banging. And there's a lot that it's very useful for. I know Wint did a video all about how the app isn't great because he's trying to learn how to play a Tau army off of reading the app. I'm just going to say, that's not really what it's intended for. And so I feel that's a bit of an unfair comparison to be making. Like, can I learn to use an army that is completely alien to me, that I've never once played a game with ever, and produce some sort of battle report all at the same time, and just use the app because I haven't got a codex? No. I'm going to say you couldn't. I'm going to say that I couldn't. I'm going to say that if I keep would be good. I'm thinking rook, though, like the chess piece. Because that also sounds like it could be a surname. Whereas keep, maybe not. Fort, I think, is a little bit... If I write arse on his leg, it's going to be just arse. Great, great. You got Terminator Captain Bum, have you? That's what it's going to be. So we can't use arse. Regardless of how it's pronounced correctly, it probably isn't arse. But we can't do arse. But yeah, I like the app. Honestly, I think it's decent. I think that if people actually gave it a chance and used it as like a rules repository, it's good. There are still some mistakes. But you go and tell me, like, go and pick up any codex. Just go to like your shelf of books, grab a codex, any one, go through it and find something that hasn't changed or that hasn't got a mistake, and then do that like 10 more times. Yeah? For every single book that you own. You're going to find loads of shit that's changed. The app is up to date. Yeah. Des, I didn't see that video. Stating where he's going to stick his foot. Avoids the fist. Toonie Spruce, I regularly don't listen to you guys. That's not out of any animosity or anything. It's just sometimes I'm just going to do it my way. And that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Oh yeah. Viking, what up, man? Main unit, how you doing, brother? But 2 to 3 minutes, couldn't open it because wanting to help. She spun it around. Oh my god. That's possibly like not even a joke as well. So we're just doing those little like quasi cheekbone bits on the skull. That one's probably not quite in the right place, but I think it's okay. And then we're just gonna get a nice strong coat of this down, filling all those gaps. So I'm not too worried about refining the shape of the eyes or the nose at this point. The nose is already completely gone. We'll sort that out later, but we're good with it for now. The eyes I'd rather refine at the end when we're looking to do all of the sort of cleanup in one go. So that's come up okay. Got a decent looking Punisher skull. Pretty sure it's genuine. Fair. It wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Right, let's start blocking this in a little bit more red. So this is the same workup that we did on the Chest Eagle. Same mixes. Literally 2 colours to do that. Everyone's got a black. And by the way, Matt, to answer your question from earlier on, which I totally didn't ignore, but just didn't get around to answering, my go-to black is Thramar Black from P3. It's nowhere near as satin. Like, the bolter there is a decent black. There's a little sheen to it. It's... Phew! Phew! Whew. Yeah, it's not quite as shiny as GW's. GW's is a little bit too satin, bordering on a light gloss for me. It's a little bit less. It'll always have a matte varnish on it anyway, so, you know. Right, we need to work out where our shading is going to be, but we want everything to be in at least this color red. So this is going to go down over everything, and while we're putting this coat down and getting it solid with a second pass, we're going to think about where we can put our highlights, whether we got to blend anything, whether we can just do edges. There's loads to do. Oh, God, excuse me. Just looking at these laurel wreaths quickly. Okay, so we could do Snack Punch. Thank you for that follow, dude. Welcome to the stream. I posted my last painting session in new home. I'm gonna sleep, tired AF. See your feedback later. Hey, no worries, Seiko. You take it easy, my friend. When you use Vallejo primers, you mix it with thinner / flow improver. You spray it straight on. Hell no. You definitely mix that. You mix it with thinner as well. There's a reason you mix it with thinner. The thinner has alcohol in it, which is kind of a aggressive way of thinning it. If you don't thin it, it's like tar coming out your airbrush. It's no good. It gums your airbrush up. It stops you from getting any kind of real flow going, slows you down. If you use thinner as well, then you've also got something that can like just speed up your drying time. So it's just better all around. Cool. Okay. I reckon we've got plenty of room for this. I'm just trying to work out where we're going, because this is actually just being a little bit quicker than I thought it would be. Either this is just a very simple geometric shape, which it kind of is, or we're just getting better at freehand, which is hopefully happening. We shall see. We shall see. You mix both thinner and flow improver. I wouldn't bother for priming because you kind of want it done and out of the way. And the flow improver is a thicker liquid than the thinner. But whatever works for you, man. You know, airbrushing, everything we say is all about finding your way of doing stuff. So you should go your own way. Go your own way. I don't think we need to blend any of this. I kind of want it to be like a flat thing, as if somebody's just come up and painted it on there rather than anything else. White primer dries the nib too quickly. Okay, if you're using white, then yeah, I can understand that. But that's any kind of light coloured paint. Even like light bone colours and stuff will have the same behaviour. It is annoying. White ink will still do it and clog. It's just the way the pigment is, mate. White pigments are a slightly larger grain. Larger grind is what I was trying to say there. And so they take a little bit more settling. It's also why they splatter quite a lot. Just using tournament pack missions, yeah. All the missions are taken from the CA20 tournament pack. We're using those secondaries as well. No, we haven't asked people to bring their own terrain because that's the dumbest fucking idea in the entirety of 9th edition so far. That really is. I don't care what bent bullshit they give Space Marines. That right there is the dumbest idea. It's me, Skeptic. How you doing? Right, so you got a little bit more Cador red into this. start laying this down. And we will probably just leave a little bit of a border around things if we can. Just to help define the shape a little bit more. Obviously still got loads of tidy up to do. Got to do them eyes, got to do those nostrils, which have been completely lost. I can barely see them where they are currently. Okay. Leave that a sec, and we get a second coat of that down. Got loads of time to do these laurels. There's going to be a dildo on the shoulder. I mean, no. No, that's not happening on Magnus either, before you ask. That looks alright though from the front. That's nice. Alright. Let's go again. Second coat. Cool. Time for a musical interval. We could get a blend on this, I guess. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? We've got loads of time. Let's do a blend on some freehand. Got a load of corrective work to do, but that gives us a bit more room to make mistakes here, which is another reason why I'm thinking about doing that blend. If we had less corrective work to do, I wouldn't bother. But I reckon we can just blend from here up to the top with some Kato red, so it gets a nice bright red with just at the top there. A bit more of a natural highlight. It's something that will fuck you over. Yes, it will. Just a message on this when you get 2 minutes. If it's what I think it is, don't worry, we're on it. Don't you worry. Cool. You are. Alright, let's grab some more Kato red. This is going to need to thin down quite a lot. So I'm not mixing this in with our previous coat of paint. Everything that we've done so far has been like adding more red into the same thing and just building that up. Well, now we're just going to take red and we're just going to take some water. I'm going to keep this nice and thin. Might add in just a touch of flow improver, but seeing as that thickens it up, I'm going to try and do it without it first. Just pure Kato red. And the first thing we're going to do is just draw a line at the top. It's going to give us a hard edge to go to. And give that a sec to cure. Just a touch. We're going to change the exposure a little bit now as well. Now that we've got all that red down, we can work a little brighter on cam. Oh, hello, come on. Wrong way. So back to what he actually looks like in the flesh here now. Oh, stock takes, mate. They're the worst. When I was working in restaurants, I told this story on stream before. I'd not long finished wrestling. I still suffered from some back issues. I had some sciatica that was just doing my nut in. And I was in the basement doing stock check. We had a load of chest freezers, and one of them was literally just full of French fries. Skin on French fries. Stealth fries, I think they were called. They were amazing. So crunchy. Like, whatever the additive they put on these things was, fucking hell, they were great. Some of the best fries, hands down, ever. And I need to count how many bags of fries there are, right? So stock take, for anyone that doesn't know what it is you basically count everything you have on the premises to make sure that you've sold the right amount of stuff and all that kind of jazz, right? We should do it monthly. And it was always going to be done on like a late Friday night or a Saturday night. It was a ball ache, but it just needed to be done. He's got his chest freezer, right? Open the freezer, bent over the freezer, reaching around, trying to move like boxes of bags. I think each box was 5 bags of fries, and each bag of fries was 2 kilos. It's like 10 kilo boxes of fries. That's not particularly hard. But bent over the chest freezer, and I fucking lifted a box up, just stretched too far and lifted it, and my back went. And I spasmed and fell forward. And I'm like half in this freezer. My hand's like on the one side of the freezer, my other hand's at the bottom of the freezer, and I've knocked it hard enough that it sort of rocked, hit the wall, and come back. And the lid has slammed shut on me. As soon as that hit my back, I'm like, oh, and I'm fucking almost breakdancing in this freezer. It hurts so much. But I realise I can't move. I can't move. I'm stuck. I'm literally like fucking half in this freezer. My toes, I'm on tiptoes on the floor because of how far forward I've leant into this freezer. I'm like, I'm done. So I'm screaming for help, but the nearest help, I'm in a basement, is upstairs in a kitchen, which is loud because it's a kitchen, where there's 3 chefs. You have to go up a flight of stairs, around a corner, up a second flight of stairs, around a corner, past the pot wash, through and around another corner to get into a little galley kitchen where these 3 lads are. I'm in this freezer, for no joke, at least 5 to 10 minutes. Like somewhere in that bracket. I am cold as shit, as you can imagine. Like my hands are going a bit blue, we're going numb all over. We're having a real bad time. And every now and again, I'm just like, help! Help! Eventually, one of the chefs comes down to get something out of another freezer or another fridge. We have a lot of fridges down there. And he sees me bent over this freezer. He's heard me yelling. It's Chef Laurie, he's a brilliant lad. Such a funny bastard. Jay, you alright? No, I'm not fucking alright! Give me this fucking freezer! Back in a minute, mate. Like, what do you fucking mean, back in a minute? Fucking get that. Runs upstairs, grabs his phone out of the kitchen, grabs the other chefs, comes down. They're all taking photos. With me literally stuck in this freezer. They're making rude signs behind my back. One of them pulls my fucking jeans down. Like, this is horrible. This is not good. This is not good. Then they let me out, and we were severely unimpressed. So yeah, whenever you're having a stock take, whatever it is, mate, just think there's always room for that stock take to get drastically worse. I did get my own back on him though. One service, like he got to the restaurant, changed out of his street clothes into the kitchen clothes, and all the chefs had like special footwear, like kitchen footwear. And so he changed out of his trainers into his chef shoes. And I waited for service to be in full swing. Got one of his trainers, went down to the basement. I put it in a plastic bag, so wrapped the trainer in a plastic bag, tied a knot in a plastic bag, put it in another plastic bag. These are see-through plastic bags, right? The sort of thing you'd use to like vac seal if you're doing sous vide, that sort of stuff. Put that in another plastic bag, wrap that one up. Then put that in the biggest one of these that we can find. Fill it with water, tie a knot in the top of that, and put that in the freezer. He's doing an all-day shift, which means he's got about 11 hours in that kitchen. End of service hits. He goes, he's like, oh, has anyone seen one of my shoes? Has anyone got one of my trainers? Oh, fuck it, guys, this isn't funny. Where's my fucking trainer? And I let this go on for 5 minutes. He's effing and jeffing at all the chefs. He's screaming at some of the waitresses. And I'm like, right, now it's time. Go into the basement. Bring this fucking bag out. Take the outside bag off. So it's this block of ice with his trainer in the middle. Take it upstairs to where the chefs are. Drop it on the table and go, there's your trainer. That was in the same freezer that I was stuck in, by the way. He was a very unhappy man. Everyone else thought it was hilarious. I froze one chef's jeans in a walk-in freezer once. I got a like a spritz bottle, like a water spray bottle. I sprayed his jeans with it and I put them in the freezer, waiting for it to go a little bit solid. And then I started opening the legs, sprayed it again and put a can of beans in there to help hold the shape. And eventually, with enough time, I managed to get these stood up in the freezer and started pulling them apart so it looked like the Invisible Man was stood in these jeans. Fucking great. Fucking great. The look on his face. That was hilarious. Kitchens are the absolute best place for piss takes, as long as you can take it too. Because if you can't take it, kitchens are not somewhere you'll survive. At all. Oh, Strapper! What up? Matt says, once we was on a science research ship, did ice core samples at the poles. There's an alarm that all three of us in the control room didn't know what it was. Wasn't labelled. It was getting annoying after going off for 10 minutes. Wasn't until 10 minutes of this going off, the boss randomly comes down and freaks out as it's the man trap alarm for the deep freezer with a sample. Oh shit. Samples are being kept at minus 35C. Also put people's shoes in there. Absolutely. Keldon Raven, what up? So yeah, enjoy kitchens, guys. Anyone in the chat that's like young, say like 18 to 22, 23, if you're unsure what to do, get a job in catering, because you'll have a fucking blast. I warn you now, it'll be some of the hardest work you'll ever do in your life, but you'll have a blast. Right, I'm just going to extend these just a touch, I think. Actually, no, I won't. I like the length that they're at now. We're just going to blend some of this red up. So we're bringing our brush from the edge of the tooth right the way up, leaving it off there to allow that to be the drop point for the last bit of paint on the brush. That means that's going to get the brighter bit of red. We can carry on from there. Yes, ladies love a man that cooks. Yep. Liking that. That's come out alright. I'm going to keep blending that red. I went up to a little bit of a brighter red. And then I'm just going to grab a little yellow to just get a slight oranged highlight on this. Nothing crazy, but just a little touch. One thing I do like about this, that little darker line that we left around the eyes really draws the attention to them. So I think that was a good move. That was something that I didn't intend to do when we started, but turned out okay. Had to steal your basing idea for my new crons. Which basing idea? Do you mean my crons? Super easy to do, mate. I still haven't gone back and done the weathering pigments on them yet. That's going to be a while away before we get on it. Want to get that commission finished. Want to get Magnus started so that we can get him finished, because we've got an enormous marine commission to do afterwards. We just don't actually know what it is yet. So waiting on new marine stuff, but it's basically going to be most of an army, like almost a full marine army. Like the bricks. The bricks are good, dude. They're simple. It's something that it takes no time, no real skill at all to get sorted out, and then just bam, it's there. Right, we're going to use one of the hardest paints to use. Behave. This is great. This is Sol Yellow from Scale. I'm going to do something that I've not done before with it. I'm going to take some of our lemon yellow, our ink, and I'm going to use that to thin it with. This is great. Like, honestly, this is a super, super bright yellow, as you can tell. Yeah, it's not quite on par with what we've got here, but it's fucking close. By the time we've added some of this in to thin it with, we'll be somewhere in the region now. The downside of this, even Sith, is this is like painting with custard. This is one of the thickest paints ever. It's so thick. In fact, it's so thick that the shake that I gave it wasn't enough, and I basically just got medium come out. An entire ATV company. Yeah, possibly. I hate that horrid looking thing. Flash Kits is the best yellow. This is one of the brightest. It's still not mixed properly. God almighty, you rat fucker. We'll just roll with it. Flash Kits is my favourite yellow. Like, absolutely, 100% Flash Kits is my favourite yellow. But that's just, when you just need something that's super bright, that will do. Like I said, we're going to try thinning it with the ink, help retain some of that power, that punch. God, that is pretty gopping. The reason we're doing this is because we want to try and get this done in only a couple of passes. So we've got to reinforce the nose. Just making sure my Moe's not covering the stream. I'll print you one. How you doing, man? Good evening. How did you forget yellow? Exactly, man. How did you do hazard stripes without yellow? I mean, there's an example right there, but there was enough yellow on the mini. Oh, and also, guys, just reminded me, the Alliance Open / Tabletop Alliance Twitch show on Friday nights, Friendly Fire Fridays. They've asked me to come on and do a little bit of a chat on their stream this week. Now, I'm actually not available on Friday, of all things. I've got a date. But we're hoping to get something pre-recorded, perhaps, and so you may be able to see a little bit of a chat on how to best go about a challenge like the Necronathon that we did yourself. How to set up for something like that, how to work in different assemblies if needed, and so on and so forth. Fuck. We're doing so well and we just went over the line. Austin Aussie, thank you very much, dude. This has been a reasonably quick thing to do. We've only worked on it on this stream and the Hellstorm stream for maybe like an hour of actual real work yesterday. So it's been quite a quick process. Happened to the Bristol GT, it's been very quiet and can't refund. Yeah. I speak to Liam quite often, and every time he says the word cancelled, I say, do you mean postponed? Because if it's ever cancelled, I'm getting my money back. I love tournament organisers. tournaments. Like, there's not a single tournament organizer. There's one single tournament organizer that I've thought was a miserable bastard out of every tournament I've been to, ever. One. Who I think, come on. You know, you need to engage with your community a bit more. You're a bit of a miserable fucker. Most TOs are people that love the hobby. Like, genuinely have a connection to the hobby, and they want to see people having fun, getting new people involved, all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to grab a little bit of white highlight for this. Liam is one of those people. He's one of the people that wants to see the hobby grow. He wants to have new people going to events, enjoying themselves, having a good time. He's also someone that, if I'm going to be very honest, should have known better. And I'm not going to tell you why, because that's giving out too much personal information about him. But he's a very responsible adult for the most part, and should have been in a position to sort people out. However, all that by the wayside. The Bristol GT will almost certainly be in April, so that's next year. Your ticket will be good, because mine is still good. I have inquired about this at length. Because I have spent probably, I don't think I'm too far off. I think I've probably spent, including accommodation, which I've been able to get back most of, but lost some of, about 800 quid's worth of tournament tickets and accommodation. I currently am out of pocket to the tune of about £500 to £600 in terms of tournament tickets that I've bought, and the event organizer is holding my money right now. Matt, you don't think you'd pay for tournament using friends and family again? Yeah, absolutely. There are very, very few people that are TOs that I would trust enough to do that with now. Right, I'm going to go back 2 steps with our red colour. One of the benefits of having that wet palette, keeping that paint alive. We've got a slightly darker red, and I'm just going to get in a little shadow just in here. There you go. So I reckon that's a relatively passable Punisher skull. Maybe the nose is a little large now, but I know if I fuss around with it too much, it'll end up being slightly too small. What I do want to do though is before tournament season. Oh shit, we just fucked that. Bollocks. I knew if I fussed with it, it would go wrong. Before tournament season really kicks off again, I want to try and get some custom dice sorted out. Because they're better than business cards if you're into wargaming. Might be a bit on the nose. Get out. Get out. That's a banning. Terrible pun. You deserve a visit after a pun like that from the Pun-isher. But I'm good with that. That's a pretty decent Punisher skull. One of the eyes isn't quite the same as the other one. So let's try and work that out. And then we'll start looking at this laurel wreath as well. So it's a good job I planned ahead and gave myself something to do just in case we finished early on this. Because we've rocketed through this skull. just taking a little off the top of this section towards this side. Okay, now we'll highlight that up a little bit, come back and tidy it with the yellow slightly, and we're good. Why do you need to time out Spoon? It's Crown Blade. He's the one. Good God. That pun. Terrible. I actually feel distinctly unwell after that pun. Right. Grab some of that little mix. This is Mellow White highlight and that lemon yellow ink. Give us a kind of nice bright, almost cream colour to work with. It's reasonably opaque. Bang in. That's it, right? We're done on the skull before we fuck it up. Okay, that we're good with. So one last thing I'm going to do is just come around the top edge of that, just to tidy it ever so slightly, sharpen that up. So it's going to take a couple of coats to get over the red. So obviously red, very strong, saturated colour. Clean that up. Dr. Rhino, how you doing, man? I'll print you one. Do you make dice? Can you do dice for me? You said you can print anything. Can you print me some custom D6s that aren't all individually 3D printed? Because that's going to cost £1 trillion. The eyes have it. I'm assuming there's no pun in there because I can't work one out if there is. But thank you. That's good. Let's just get a little on the teeth. He will print you loaded dice. No way. Absolutely not. That's it. I can't buy from you now just because somebody said that. This is terrible. It's a bad day for everyone. Broken up those teeth a little bit as well. You get one more coat on that. So we need to look into these laurel wreaths, right? And the best thing to do, I guess, we try and find one that's kind of like this. I don't really want to do one that's a surround. So if we do one that's a surround, it's going to come all the way out here and up like that. Which actually, I mean, we've got an hour, right? Hour and a half. I sent him and mate loaded dice as a very, very spicy chocolate. Awesome. Awesome. Best video call ever. Oh no. Shit. Do we do a proper... Fuck it, why not? That's the more challenging one to do, so let's go for it, right? I thought the skull was going to be the hard bit. We've nailed that. Let's go with the slightly more challenging wreath. So let's look at some wreaths. This is for one special person in the stream. I'll print you one. Ta-da! Happy birthday to Danny. I'll print you one. You absolute legend. two of your friends, at least one of which is in the chat right now, have asked me to give you a birthday present on stream. I'm afraid it's nothing good. Like, I'm just going to cut the surprise right now. It's a terrible, terrible present. They've hired me to spend 2 hours teaching you how to paint. So, there you go, mate. Happy birthday. We will hook up at some point after the stream. This is from MCG Jager and GingerDan92. They're the guys that gave you this. 2 hours of painting tuition. We'll get you sorted. Now we can go back to real music, because that was a really, really weird happy birthday song. I didn't listen to it before. I wish I had now. That was the happy birthday song from Info Bells, apparently. Great gift, though. Great gift. So happy birthday, Chief. Get in touch with me on Discord. We've chatted on there before, so I know you know how. And we'll work out when and what we'll be teaching you to paint. Jager, I did say I had something special planned. Sarantis, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. You've just missed the happy birthday song that we played for none other than our Print You One. How's your streams, Sarantis? 076, how you doing? So, after that, let's look at these laurels, right? We need to have one that's, like, not so stylish. So this is no good. That looks a bit... I'm kind of thinking this looks a little bit closer to all the 40k style ones. I appreciate you're missing half of that on screen. Oh, actually, this one is about the same, actually. Slightly different arc to it. Jager, no problem, dude. I'm glad that was fun. It's your partner stream today. She took over for a few hours. Oh, sweet, dude. What were they doing? Let's see what else we've got. This was the kind of thing I was originally thinking of, like this smaller, lower level laurel. But now we've done a good job on the skull. I reckon we're good. Oh, or I mean, that's a terrible quality version of it, but I think that's maybe the best one so far. That's a better quality version. There we go. There we go. So we've got that, but where it's got a blank like vein for the leaves where they would normally go, let's just shimmy this over a touch. There you are. Great. Not that close to the top of the screen. And further over. There you go. Where that's got a blank spot where the vein would be in the leaves, we're going to draw that in. The one with the green background. Yeah, I like that, but I think this one where it just goes from a taper from a larger leaf down to a smaller leaf, I think that's better. So, Sarantis, what we've been doing today is painting Punisher skulls. Because why the fuck not, right? Just genuinely, why not? I'm just going to get one more corrective pass with a mix of the lemon yellow ink from Dalarani and some Menoth White highlight, just to tidy up this little bit of red at the top of the head there, and this small amount of Bogren brown that's just showing up on and around here. Get a bit more separation in these teeth. There we are. Happy days. You're the Hive Guard. Nice. Cheers, brother. We've taken a while working on our freehand skills. And we're finally getting there with it, I think. Let's see. The laurel wreath, I think, is actually going to be harder to do than the Punisher skull. Because the Punisher skull, I have no idea how many times I've drawn that. Roll a d6. This one isn't loaded. And I'm not eating spicy chocolate. Or doing shots of habanero sauce. Dos. Why did you want me to roll a d6? Oh, wait. No, I know why. Don't do it. You don't need to do it. I remember you saying this. You don't need to do that, man. It's your birthday. We should be getting stuff for you. That's the way it works. Hence, your mates giving you a solid 2 hours of private painting tuition. Right. So, we need to mark a point down here that our laurel wreath will start at. So, little X marks a spot going on down there. I'm going to change the, what do you call it, exposure a little as well. Just so we work with this lighter colour, make it easier to see. And then we want to loop this side. So let's look at the front. How much do we want to see from this angle? This is the important bit. So I want this to come up to sort of here. So that's kind of the line there that we're going to follow. And this is why we're using this Bogran Brown, right? Because you can barely see that line on camera. We could weather that out if we didn't like it. Just get a couple of little scratches of yellow on there. Maybe some silver and browns and stuff if you want to go a little bit harder with the weathering. But that's fine for now. And then there we go. So this is why I said not to. I'm almost glad I rolled a 2. Chip Douglas getting a sub. And Howdy Creative. That's a cool name. I like that name. So Chip, let's give you your meeps. Now, if either of you guys that have just been given their meeps are in the stream, exclamation point win. And also exclamation point mystery. Also Chip Douglas, you dark horse. You're here quite a lot. That's a lot of hours. Many hours. And then Howdy Creative. Boom. You guys have both been given 3,000 meeps. Ready to use on the last stream of the month. Now remember, I did go over this last time. This month we've got a bit of a weird schedule. So this Sunday I'm not streaming. Because I have a friend that's coming down from Manchester to the tournament I'm running on the Sunday. He's staying over the weekend. So going to be chilling out with him on the Sunday night. So no stream this Sunday. Then next week, it's a stream as normal. Then the week after, Tuesday the 22nd, there will be no stream. Sorry, there will be a stream. Tuesday the 22nd, there'll be a stream. But there won't be on the Thursday. There won't be on the Sunday, because I'll be in Gibraltar. Now I'm hoping that for Tuesday the 29th, I'll be back with plenty of time to chill out, get my head back together after traveling all the way from like basically Africa to home, all on public transport with the masks on and all the other shit that comes with it, to be able to stream the last stream of the month on the 29th of September. If, however, for whatever reason, that's completely delayed or shit goes wrong, not to worry. Thursday the 1st of October will be the giveaway stream. Guaranteed we'll be streaming that day. So one of those 2 days will be the last stream of the month. Manchester's the best. He comes from Runcorn. It's not the best. It's so far from the best. Runcorn is like the Basra of Manchester. It's basically Manchester. As far as I'm concerned, he comes from the south. We speak properly, don't you know? Yeah. Runcorn's Manchester. Right, now you need to get this side to match up, and this is why this is the hard part. The skull's easy. This bit's tricky. So let's get our start points about equidistant. We go in there. Now we need to get our angle at the bottom about the same. If anyone here is one of those people that just effortlessly draw circles as well, I kind of hate you right now. Because I can't just draw a cross in the middle there and cover it up, so we're having to do it this way. But I think that's actually pretty close approximation of a circle. We're okay. It's built on a chemical wasteland. Great. Also, Fish, good evening. How you doing? You missed us having a happy birthday celebration for our print you one. Who else could live in the middle of the fens like you? Fair. I mean, there's always worse. There's always worse. You could have been captured by, like, Somalian pirates. You know, there's always room for shit to get worse. Birthday! Oh, you've been lurking? My God. Well, I'm glad we finally got you out of the woodwork, Fish. Right, let's not fuck this up. So we're going to trace over. Get some flow improver on. This is drying on the bristles. Okay. It's the art of war! How are you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. Let's get some love here for these awesome people in the Art of War. Who have we got this evening? What were you guys working on? If you aren't following the Art of War, then you don't love competitive 40k. And if you don't love competitive 40k, then you're slightly dead inside. A little bit. How you folks doing? Tonight, we're working on some freehand. We've just done the Punisher Skull on this Imperial Fist. Now we've decided that that isn't hard enough, and so we're going to draw a laurel wreath around the edge of it. We've just done a circle, and all we've got to do now is not fuck up tracing the circle. And then the leaves should be simple. But fuck circles right now. Doing well, dude. Doing well. What are you guys up to on stream? You've literally not yet played a game of 40k. Well, I know what we're doing with your 2 hours of private tuition. I'm teaching you how to play 40k. This... no. No, no. You must play 40k. It's a great game. Getting there. That's the first part of the line. It's not completely dog-legged. It's just a little bit dog-legged up here at the top. This weekend was going to be me taking a trip to Nottingham to learn on the tables there. That went well. Rough, mate. Rough. Too soon. Too soon. Sorry to hear that, dude. Right, lightest possible brush pressure. You're literally just grazing the surface with your brush for this. Okay, there we go. So that's the first part of that sorted. Looking about even across the top. Kind of close to being about right. could never trust yourself to freehand a line circle. T-Bone to Max, it's taken me a while to get to this point. We've been trying to freehand everything we do on stream, especially on the giveaway minis, because A, it adds something a little special, and B, it's good practice. And it, you know, if I fuck it up, it wasn't one of my minis I fucked it up on, so you know that's kind of okay, right? So yeah, that's a lie. It's not true. It's not the reason. Whilst we've got this colour paint though, we're actually going to do something that's even harder than this, I think. We're going to do some lettering. We decided to call this guy Rook because Rook is what you call the castle in chess. It's a good Imperial Fist name, a strong defensive name, and also castle. Griffey! Oi, oi! How you doing, bud? Jesus Christ, Fish, that's horrible. That's horrible. So you need to write the word Rook on here. We haven't got a lot of room. So we'll start off with the O's. If the paint hasn't dried on our brush tools again. Damn. Too many people that are just filthy casuals. What is this? So, my friend from Manchester, Mark Crumbleholme, a lot of the people in the chat, if you are into Comp 40k, will know Mark. I've known Mark for a couple of years now. He's a fucking great dude. He occasionally lurks here in the stream, trying to work on his painting skills. And he, last year, just to the ITC ranked events alone, went to 47 events. And that's just the ITC ones. Not the ETC events as well. He went to 47 events. Sometimes he'd get 2 RTTs in a weekend. One on a Saturday, one on a Sunday. You know, why not? He is Mr. Competitive 40k. The way he describes it is, well, if I go to enough events, I'll win one eventually, right? But he's a very solid player. And we're going to be going through his Harlequin and Drukhari list on Thursday night when we do the list review. It's a hell of a list, and I'm scared of this. Very scared of this. The other thing we used to brief was so bad, you know, 80s that people short leave yourself reflectors, matchmaking, their own specific burnt skin. Great. That is almost one a week, T-Bone. And that's just the ITC events as well. I reckon that O is in the wrong place. I'm going to end up with too much gap between our letters now, and it not being centered. So what we'll do is we will draw the R in, see how much room we've got here. We might spell Rook with an E on the end. So for this, use a brush with a decent point. I'm using a size 1 Winsor & Newton. The usual issue I see with people writing any sort of text on something is it's too thick in some places and not in the other. So we're gonna have to go back and tidy this up, obviously. But overall, remember, this should be quite thin. And yeah, Mark is an awesome dude. He's one of the nicest people that you'll meet in Warhams. I've yet to have the pleasure of playing him. I'm hoping to rectify that this weekend, perhaps. Just fucked up the K a bit. If we come in there with some Menoth White and just sort that out, that's a splodge. That's no good whatsoever. There's we could do. I don't know if Mark would be up for it. He's been on streams before. I could ask him. We could have a little bit of a chat show. Not sure if people would be like super into it, but I don't mind. We could. To be honest though, we're going to get back from the tournament. That's going to be like 7 o'clock. Then I'm cooking steak. I'm not going to want to move after I've eaten that. So... Right, what we're going to do, we're going to blot out the K. Because I can make that thinner. I can make part of that lettering a little just tighter. And we'll see if we can fit an E on the end. Because Rook R-O-O-K-E still would sound exactly the same as Rook R-O-O-K. So it still fits. Still works. I want to see you play Knights on stream. We went through this the other day, and I'm not going to stream games until everything is absolutely perfectly set up for it, which requires another streaming rig, and that's not an insignificant investment at all. The one that I use currently, just for the computer part of the setup, was 1,900 quid. And I'm just going to Vegas, basically. I'll tell you what, if I win big in Vegas, I'll buy another stream rig. That's what we'll do. If I win big in Vegas, new stream rig. And then we'll stream a game. But yeah, I'll make sure Mark's up for it first, and then it might be later than the usual stream. So, !social, follow along on Instagram, all that sort of guff. Make sure you make the notifications turned on for posts, because whilst Twitch will give you a notification, occasionally that happens very late, and you don't necessarily always get it on time to catch the stream. And I always put a post up on Instagram. I press the go live button on this, I press the share button on my phone, and there's an Insta post straight up. So I'll make sure he's down for it. Like I said, it's going to be after we've eaten dinner, had a rest. But if he's down for it, then we'll do it. He's been on a few streams. Be interesting to have you play versus the chat. Not sure how it will work, but it could be cool. Mate, I'm telling you now, there's no way you're going to coordinate, like, let's say 60 people into a movement phase at all. Maybe a shooting phase, but no. I am the kind of person that if I had like a battle report channel, if that's what this was, if we did battle reports instead of painting, then I would have like the sort of challenge series, a bit like Matt from Mini Wargaming used to have, like challenge Matt or whatever, beat Matt bat reps. That was it. Like, I'd happily do that. I'd take on anyone, man. Doesn't matter if you're a pro player or an amateur. As long as you know how to play the game, and therefore it's a game that I'm not having to sort of play both sides of, I'd play anyone, but I don't have that set up, and that's not what I'm doing. Danny, take it easy, man. Have fun with Halo. No worries about a shout out. Let me know. Like, send me some message on Discord. Not today. Enjoy your birthday. Alright, when you're free, we'll try and set something up, mate. Alright? Oreo class. Assign a squad per turn to a different person at random. Christ, that would be chaos. That would be sick. But it would be chaos. Right, just tidying up these O's. And then we're going to call that pretty much done in a sec. There you go. So we've got a little bit of lettering. Let's zoom right in. We've got Rook written on his leg. Just want to... That one O is out of line in the middle, so I'm just going to redo it. Fuck it. Just going to redo it. Just that O. Not the whole thing. Just that O. Who can rig Vegas? I mean... I'd be... Well, actually, I've seen and heard some of the things that they do to people that try and cheat Vegas casinos. No thank you. I don't want to be known as Legless J. If you win a Super Major in Utrecht, will you buy an additional stream rig? No, because there's no money on the line for that. When I say win big in Vegas, A, they give you $5,000 for winning the ITC, right? Not bad. But I meant, like, oh, I'll put $20 on black, or like $100 on, like, red 17. Ding, 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 ding. J4 fingers. Why do they call them J4 fingers? Hold on, Tyrone. Who's that? It's a man with 4 fingers carrying a briefcase sold. Polly, fuck you. Fuck you is all I've got on that one. Just a straight fuck you. All we've spent this string doing is drawing fucking circles. They've gotten harder to draw. Sigh. Oh shit. Just spooched that one up a bit. It's going well until then. Right. It's also not quite the right colour. Oh, Des, that's so gross. That's so gross. Oh, no way, man. That's too far. Too far. Right. Now let's rescue this from the travesty that was that O. Absolutely not. Lee, there is a very, 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 very small Gandalf sat just above the entrance, shall we say, screaming, "Thou shalt not pass!" at anything that goes near. However, I just want to applaud Des because that made at least one person smile. It made me laugh, and therefore it was funny, and is allowed. But miniature Gandalf is stopping all of that shit. Just trying to give myself a timeout wouldn't work. You can't time out a mod. Wait, no, I think it's only you can't time out. Yeah, maybe. There's too many sprues still about. Try and time out Des. How accurate is Brad Pitt's accent in Snatch? It's a lot more accurate than his accent in Fury, or whatever the film was. There is a Texan... No, Inglourious Bastards. That's it. His accent in Inglourious Bastards is horrendous. At least as Mickey the Pikey, you weren't meant to be able to understand him. It worked out. Right, there we go. That is still not quite centered on that second O. Let's just try and get this in. I'm just trying to thin down one side, essentially. Now it's slightly too thin, so we're just going to change the other one to match it. And then we're going to leave it. We're just going to leave it now. Buongiorno! So bad. Like, hilariously bad. But also still so cringy. Right. Let's try working on these laurels. So, just paint on the brush. Let's just redraw this line in the lighter red. And then we can start getting our leaves drawn for this as well. We need to get those in. We are at 20 to 11. Only on your channel, aka... Oh, wow. Nice. If I ever feel the need to time you out, Des, don't worry, I'll unmod you and somebody else will just ban your ass. End of the day, if you've made someone a moderator, it's because you trust them to not do shit you need to time them out for. I don't know if I've seen Blood Diamond. Right, so we've got a nice red ring for our laurel wreath. Let's go back over here. Well, we're not looking at a happy birthday thing. And check this out. So, use some fat leaves at the bottom, one singular leaf at the top. Let's go to the one singular leaf first. That gives us a good end point to aim for. You feel like a guinea pig? I mean, yeah. Civilian waffles, that's a pretty solid point. So we're aiming for kind of a teardrop shape, like a flame, I guess. For each of these. And ideally have a nice sharp point on it as well. That's those two. And now let's work up some of these. So this would start on the bottom one. And the way this works is there's a large leaf on the bottom and a smaller leaf on the top, which I kind of like. And they overlap ever so slightly. I've just got a slight split at the top of my brush, so it has been a bit, dude. How you doing? So just got some of the paint just dried on there. Just clean that off. Coming close to that time when check what you've been working on. Start putting your stuff up. Too many sprees. What an absolute legend. That's right, guys. Get yourself in the whip. That was not the best leaf. But you can see what's going on. We can understand where we're at with this. And you're going to make these brighter red soon as well, so I'm not too worried about the opacity, but that one was just worrying me a little bit because it was such a large leaf near the start as well. I wanted to pump up the volume on that one just a touch. That's a flame that we've done the wrong way now as a result. There we go. Not bad. Living that air conditioning in Florida for over a month. Oh, hell no. Like, it gets bad over here, but we rarely have the same heat that you do. We did have not that long ago, and that was distinctly uncomfortable for anyone in the UK. But we only had to live with it for, say, a week. Much longer for you. Poor suffering bastard. Glad that's sorted though, man. Yeah, it's just getting there. Doing okay. I actually kind of like the fact we went with that really dark colour beforehand for the line, because then we've got a nice dark stem for this to all come off of. Keldon, that sounds pretty badass, man. Let's see that in the whip. Oh, Christ! What up, dude? You've missed a particularly fun stream where we've been painting the Punisher skull. And now a set of wreaths to go around it, because why not? These starting to be a little smaller now as we get to the end of this branch. How are you doing? What have you been up to? Oh, Baz the Brit is continuing his gift sub as well. What a superstar. Baz, have you got your tufts yet? Hoping anyone that got a prize of just tufts should have received them by potentially today. Let's get some love for Baz. Decent guy and likes good beer as well. Just going to restart the music in a sec. Just want to do this. Leaf, this one was not the best one. Use a little extra going on. That's turned out okay. Made it slow there. Alright, unlucky man. Let's there we go. Once again, a little bit of dry tip. Then we just got to do all that again on this side so it roughly matches it. Then we've got to do it all again with some highlights. And then maybe even again with some highlights. So, yay. Mix a little more of that colour up, add in some flow improver, help keep that wetter for longer. Poly, not wrong with that, mate. Right, so we started off with one on the lower section. I'm not looking to duplicate this exactly. We're not looking for symmetry, we're just looking for something that is close. Similar, not symmetrical. That's what we want. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm just not capable of making this symmetrical. That's not going to happen at all. But we'll try and get the same sort of heights and rough positioning and so on. I've thinned this a little too much now. Touch too much flow improver. That's way too dark. Fucking hell, that was close. Milos! How you doing? So something I haven't talked about because I think it's weird, but it does actually make sense to promote this to you guys. Because of what it is this is Twitch's subscription drive month, September. Menace to me, or Menace Tome, or Menacetone. One of those is probably very wrong, and the rest are also probably just wrong. So hopefully somewhere in there. Milos, I'm doing well, dude. Thank you very much for asking. In fact, actually just doing great. I can't complain right now. Life is good. So, yeah. I spent a lot less than that, but it cost me quite a lot in the long run. No two things are the exact same. You'll make it more realistic. Banging. There we go. Menace Tom E. It could be that too. That Tom. What a menace. Right, I'm actually going to put in a little leaf here because it looks too blank without it. So we're just going to pop in a real small leaf on both sides, obviously. It is Menace to me. There we go. We knew we got one of them right. At least we were reasonably confident I wasn't wrong with all of them. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream and thank you for the follow. What chapter am I painting? This is an Imperial fist, but we decided that painting a fist was just boring. And I wanted this guy to have some semblance of being a captain, because I imagine the paint scheme that I've done this in is not going to match the paint scheme of the rest of the army. So, exclamation point mystery in the chat, somebody please. Every month we do a giveaway of a miniature for a subscriber, and they get to choose one of 3 miniatures, one of which is a mystery. So one of which has a secret identity and is held in the mystery box. And the winner can choose one of the 2 that they know the identity of, or the mystery box. They win whatever that miniature is, painted it by me in a colour scheme of their choice. Well, this guy was in the mystery box. It was one of the Space Marine heroes from Season 2, the Terminators. And the guy that won it asked for an Imperial fist to match his army. Now, I know that this has been painted in a scheme slightly different to his, so I wanted this guy to stand out a lot. So we went with the very old school bulldog face. We've gone for the red with a white stripe there to denote a person of rank. We've gone for some cool looking hazard stripes going on here. And I decided for this shoulder pad that skulls are awesome. And the Punisher is doubly awesome because he's the motherfucking Punisher. And that was all the excuse we needed to do a skull. Also, I got a funny feeling that Space Marine chapters give skulls to people in a position of rank or power. So we kind of went with that theme. Laurel wreaths are given to people who are up there in the Marines. So maybe we're thinking like this is some sort of special sergeant, some sort of like Praetorian style thing going on. Just need to get these to flow a little bit more along the branch, so that he can be used as maybe a captain or some other kind of Terminator armored hero. HQ choice perhaps in Sam's army. Oh, nice, dude. There's some really cool looking ones in there. The banner looks just outstanding. Laurels of Victory, Specific Honor. Cool, there we go. You say easily. I am not doing a good job of this. That one matches, that one matches, that one. Actually, we're not doing a terrible job of it though. I'm not going to shit all over this, but it's not wonderful, it's just passable. Yeah, this is something that I've been working on improving for some time now, and it really is one of those things that you've just got to spend the time. Unless you've got a talent for art, like normal art, because let's be honest, what we call freehand, everyone else just calls art. So yeah, if you're someone that's good at art, great, get your freehand on. If you're not, life is misery and pain. Paint with your pain. Which is another reason to paint skulls. Yes! Yes, there we go. Right, let's bang the exposure back up to normal, because I forgot to do that after we finished the Boga and Brown step. Wrong way again, as always. Too high. No, about right. There we go. So this is where we're at with our Terminator. And now what we need to do is do a highlight on all of those feathers. Feathers? They're not feathers. They're leaves. The other thing. Fists are great, man. I love painting yellow though. So I'm slightly biased. I know people hate painting yellow, but once you've learnt the trick, yellow is super easy. Who won the mini? This was S Farrell 7, who is in the chat. Not today, I don't think. We'll call him Lulu because he works at Games Workshop. I'm not going to tell you which one because that's a slight sort of doxing. But he works at Games Workshop, and Hobo J knows him, and Hobo J just nicknamed him Lulu for what I can tell, no apparent reason, other than that occasionally he's a prick. But in a good way, you know, we all love Jay. And Red Sharpie, that's a timeout. Out. That's a banning. No Sharpie, no technical pens. Use a brush on miniatures. You don't use like tiny ass ballpoint pens or whatever. So now we highlight all the tree feathers. Thank you for that save, by the way. But if someone uses a base coat of pink for paint yellow for some reason, yeah, man, it works really, really well. So I don't, because I prefer a workout from orange. But the reason it works is because of color theory and the way that the two colors complement each other and contrast against each other. For a similar reason, I wash all of my golds with purple and then put a second wash of a flesh wash on there, because the purple really helps to define the gold and give it a very aged look to it. I use purple in my non-metallic gold mix as well. It's a really, really good way of doing it, and it sounds fucking mental, but it works super, super well. If you're gonna use pink, like go with like a magenta, though, like something that's a bit kind of like puts two Sharpies in each other forming a cross. Hell no. Hell no. No Sharpie. We don't do Sharpies here. We don't do like technical pencils and things like that. And the reason why isn't, like, I don't care if that's how you guys paint your minis. That's totally cool. Find your way, be your own artist, you know, make your own path, all that stuff. We talk about this a lot, and I really mean it. So if you guys want to use a pen, great, use a pen. But I'm going to tell you right now why you shouldn't. Every single time your brush touches the miniature, you have the opportunity to learn something. Every single time. And so as a result, you should be focused on improving that skill, which is your brush control, with every brush stroke. So if you use a Sharpie, great, you're improving your penmanship in a weird way. But if you use a brush, you're improving your painting. And you guys have sat there and said, oh, I can't believe Jay is just freehanding this in like a casual way. I'm shitting myself doing this. I'm not very good at it. But I've got to the point I am now by using a paintbrush and putting myself through the practice hours and so on and so forth, right? You've got to do it, guys. You're serious about painting and being a better painter, use your paintbrush. Also, to give you one more very good reason why you should never use a Sharpie on your miniatures, the hobby expert Rob Bear from Spiky Bits uses Sharpies on his miniatures. Don't be like Rob. Don't be a dickhead. Use colour pencils, very good at drawing between lines. Awesome. So I'm down with that for like 2D art. Yeah, there's a billion different mediums and stuff like that, but we talk about painting miniatures. If you're using a pen, you're not really painting. And if you use a brush pen, you're kind of not really painting. That's like, you've got to kind of ask, is this cheating? If you've got to ask, then it is, right? Crayons aren't for eating? So I've got a housemate story on this one. He will be unimpressed by me telling this, so we're going to tell it. And I hope he doesn't watch the VOD. Probably won't. No, he probably won't. So, that last is a strong argument. Yep. Don't be a cunt. Don't be like Rob. Ben, for his like Christmas staff meals at a place he used to work a long time ago, they'd all go out to some big old restaurant in Bristol, where it was like a huge like Tex-Mex style place, and they'd bring out enormous heaping plates of loaded nachos and dirty fries, all that sort of thing, right? Gargantuan plates of this stuff. And because it's a place that caters for children, and because the party that Ben would be with was full of just large children, by that I mean people over the age of 18, but still children, they'd give them all of the colouring stuff to do before their meal came out. So they'd be sat there with wax crayons and like colouring pages, sheets, I guess. And they'd do colouring, and then you'd end up with these enormous platters of nachos and loaded fries and stuff coming out. People would eat them, they'd drink, it'd be shit-faced. They'd end up doing things like throwing crayons into the nachos and stuff. Now, Ben at the time was having to be a baller on a budget, and so at the end of the Christmas meal, he was like, "Oh, can I get this to go?" And the staff looked at the plates of nachos and fries that had crayons in there, and just like, "Sure, mate, your funeral." Put it onto takeaway containers, put it in a black bin liner, and gave it to Ben. So Ben carried this black bin liner full of takeaway containers home, where he didn't have a fridge. And what he would do would probably shock and appall everyone in the chat, myself included, but he would grab one of these takeaway containers and he would microwave it for like 10 minutes. And in this takeaway container, you'd have like cheese and sauce and fries and nachos, like whatever else was in this thing, like some chili beef, all the usual stuff you'd get at a Tex-Mex kind of place, and crayons. And then he'd just eat it. And the first time this happened, because yes, it happened more than once, he was like, "It's kind, it's cool, it's fine." The following year, they went back to the same place, and the people he worked with were like, "You're gonna take this home again, aren't you?" So I'm gonna start really putting crayons in. Fucking packet of crayons going in. And Ben once again took home a bin liner of takeaway crates stuffed with mostly crayons. And Ben has admitted that the best place to keep a bin liner full of already heated up food is not your bedroom, because you don't have a fridge. Because by day 3, it's not looking so good. Ricardo! My God, I haven't seen your name in a while. How are you, dude? So yeah, don't eat crayons, guys. Don't do that. Don't be a Ben. Right, I'm now doing something really, really stupid. I can't believe I'm actually doing this, but we're going to try it. I'm darkening down the paint I've just used, so we can put shadows on our leaves. I mean, this is legit, right? This is definitely something I should do. Totally isn't. Yeah, man, we did the Punisher logo to denote this guy as some sort of captain. We then did some text. We called him Rook, R-O-O-K-E, because Rook is a castle in chess and, you know, castle. And now we're doing some laurel wreaths to just finish off the shoulder pad and frame it nicely. Fine. Watched most of the stream on YouTube last time. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad you still get to watch, mate. Have you seen the Necron video, the Necronathon? Exclamation point Cron. That was a weekend and a half, man. Loads of fun. Loads of fun. It needs to be darker. But ooh, that one wore me out. It was good though. It was good. Planning on next weekend stream. It probably won't be this month now because No Retreat is coming up, so that's me out for a few nights and a weekend. And when I get back, I may just want some time to recharge the batteries, catch up on commissions, maybe see a specific person, and chill for a bit. This turns out was a good idea. Surprisingly, this was a good idea. Which means now I've said that I'm going to fuck it up somewhere, but yeah, next weekend stream we'll do sometime in October, and it might be just me painting a load of new Necron stuff. I don't know. Don't know yet. Might be me doing a bust. I've had a bust offered to me by none other than exclamation point Frozin. You guys have done a lot of support for his new 3D printing venture. He's keeps me to pop in and say thank you. He's a busy boy right now with everything he's got going on, so I don't blame him for not having a time. But yeah, so he's going to donate at some point a bust for me to be painting, and if I'm honest, we'll probably give it away once we've painted it. A little bit like the Pumpkin Pirate King that we did. That was our first ever weekend stream. Right, I just need to grab some yellow and tidy this up a little bit. I'm going to put a couple of little scratches in with some battle damage. So we're going to grab another mix of that lemon yellow ink, the Dalarani stuff. I'm going to add a decent chunk of that to some Menoth White Highlight from P3. Get a nice pastel yellow. Just found some old scatter dice. I think I've still got a pile of them, and the artillery dice. Did anyone see the new dice that GW got out for the 4-year-old stuff? The ones that were all very reminiscent of the ones that originally produced. They came with scatter dice and they looked sick. There's some cool dice there. The World Eaters ones are absolutely immense. Captain Jack Marrow, that's it. That's it. Yeah, we did some freehand on him as well. We did the map and the R. How much were they a pack? Because I can't believe they were too cheap. Didn't like the Ultramarine ones. Did you not? I actually thought they were one of the smartest ones. 20 quid's not bad. That's a pound of dice, actually. That's pretty good. to lock that away a bit with my finger. Totally cocked that up then. Have to go back in and repair that branch just a touch. Look too fussy. Meh, fair enough. I get that. I understand why you think that. They were a little bit sort of full on. But I thought they were one of the smarter ones out of the set. Alright, there we go. So, battle damage. Now we've painted all of this lovely stuff. Hey, I just fucking went in for a brush stroke and my chair slipped backwards. Like, hang on. Hang on. That's not meant to happen. So what we're doing now is we're just drawing some really, really thin lines across this. Try and keep it as random as possible. Keep your brush pressure extremely light, like barely touching the mini at all. And bearing in mind this is a curved surface, you'll always have a little bit more pressure in one area than in another. So just be mindful of that when you are moving your paintbrush. But just want to get a couple of scratches on it, stop it looking quite so factory fresh, and it looking just ever so slightly factory fucked. There you go. I really like it. I'm actually marginally impressed with how well we've managed to render that. So this is Rook. Let's get the servo skull on his base. We've got some pigments to do, which I will do off stream. You guys have seen me do that often enough. And then if you join my Instagram, so @SpaceMarine.social, get yourself a link over there as soon as... Where did it join on? Down there. As soon as I've got some finished photos of this guy, I'll put them up on there. We also do things like the shout out for when the stream goes live. All that sort of stuff happens over on Insta as well. Fuck me, how glued on is this? Very is the answer, I guess. But yeah, if you want to see the finished article, follow on Insta. I'm really lazy when it comes to getting the Instagram pics to down here, so don't wait for that at all. But also Twitter and Facebook and all that, the same photo goes up to all of them. Right, let's take this guy off the base a little bit, because there's a little bit of interference from underneath happening there. Oh, you fucker. Alright, that does not want to go in there. So, this is one of the best things that I've bought that's hobby related, right? Little rotary tool. It's fucking great. It's chuckless, and it comes with this massive set of stuff. And one of the things in this set of stuff is these little files. I'm looking for that one. Watch as I completely mangle getting this out of the box. It's not a Dremel, it's so light. This thing weighs like 100, maybe 200 grams. Actually, I guess. Girl Painting, how you doing? Like, this is easily about the weight of a decent apple. Alright. We're going to embiggen our hole. By the way, this tool makes converting stuff so much quicker. Come on, you little shitbag, get in there. Wow, it really doesn't want to. Okay, let's embiggen the hole just a little bit more. Sometimes it'll have to be, man. And honestly, by the time I've realised it in the chat, the problem has normally sorted itself out. As you say. There you go. Come on. Come on. Bang it. There we go. So we've got, like I said, some weathering pigments to do. And then that is our Imperial Fist. Stop shaking. Happy days. Just ending your Thursday D&D session. Nice. Nice. Happy days. But there he is. Obviously, base rim needs sorting out. You know, pigments needs sorting out. But we've had fun with this guy. We've done a lot of freehand, which is always good fun. Oh, I need to do this little bit of gold as well. But fuck it, I'll do that off stream. I'm super happy with him. I know Sam will be super happy with him as well. He gets to get this on Sunday when I see him for the event, the Bad Luck Brawl, which I'm running at Atlantic Games. Right, let's do some whip. Girl painting, thank you. But base rims are only black. That is all. They are only ever black because I don't care about this bit of plastic I put no effort into. I care about everything from this bit here upwards that I have. So therefore they're always black. Impressed you ended your Thursday session on a Tuesday. Did I say Thursday? Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't really that care. But there we go. The fist is done. It's time for whippage. Let's go over to the Discord. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. And that's pre-stream. This is in-stream. So this is Hicko. He's not here. But he will watch the VOD back. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, here we go. This is Hicko doing the very hard to get hold of Lieutenant Amalus. So he's got his base coat down with the airbrush. This is his first painting session in the new house as well. I've got this mini. I'm really looking forward to doing my own Marine chapter with him at some point. Or just giving it away on stream. Could be either. Who knows? Could be the next mystery box. Exclamation point mystery. It's good, mate. What you've done is great. You've got a really nice vibrant blue. That's just good. I know you're the sort of painter that puts all their basing material stuff down afterwards, but I really would urge you to put it down prior to doing any of your undercoats, just because it all starts to look a little bit more natural when it's on there and you can paint it all at once. Everything's in the right place. Everything's neat. Next steps, obviously, get your panel lining done. Get those recessed shades down. I wouldn't leave his helmet blue either. Like that deserves to be red. And a really saturated, full-on red. Yeah, good work so far, dude. I might have left the backpack off this guy just to get to the shoulders a little easier. Get your freehand going on. So, they released it for a week in April. Oh, of course they did. Yeah. They're going to make this easy to get hold of as well, right? This is going to be one of their store opening minis or something along those lines. And then they brought out the Librarian. I don't know if you can see him just here. We've got the Terminator Libby as well. because he looks sick. But nice work, champ. Keep it up. Keep it up. Crownblade says, stupid camera. Is your hand there to try and balance it, or is your hand there to hold up the backboard? I'm trying to work out. I think, because we've seen the test mini of these, and my critique was up the contrast. I'm guessing you have, and the camera's just not picking it out. Color balance, yeah. So on your cell phone, when you take a photo, have you got options for changing the warmth balance of the light? So up to like a warm light and a cold light, and the brightness. Maybe just fiddle around with those a little bit before you take the photo. See if you can get something a little bit more hot. Overall, mate, they're good. En masse, when you've got like 50 of these, whatever it is, on a table, they'll look great. The models themselves are fucking terrible. I hate these. I had some when they first came out in plastic for my Vampire Counts army, and they're so bad. But you've done a decent enough job of them. They really look pretty alright, mate. Like, honestly. Yeah, keep it up, dude. Keep it up. Crazy Ank. Starting tomorrow. Mate, this is at most. Alright, you've got Caesaras in there. Is that 60 warriors? That looks like 40 warriors to me. Yeah, 40 warriors. This is a double Indomitus. Only 2 murder giraffes, yeah. Double Indomitus and Caesaras. For the basing, you've got them bricks down. Shayna Wolf Dancer, thank you for the host. Do you go 20 and 20 with the guns? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, with the bricks, you've got those down. I'd get some of your basing material over the bricks as well, so they're just placed on the surface. I know some of them are sunk in, but just slap a bit on there. With mine, I used the crackle paint as well as the pumice to go over the bricks to really make it look like they feel bedded into the ground. Good morning, you're lurking about before bed. I leave a host. Thank you very much, Shane. I really, really appreciate hosts. They do a lot for the stream. Caesaras is going to be a project of mine. He is buried just here. And I want him to look sick. Like, he's a big centerpiece mini for the army, so I want him to look real cool. And like I said, the next weekend stream we do might just be new Necron stuff, because it'll be sometime in October. So why not? Might do Caesaras for the Necron Codex release. Don't know. He's mine. Like, we're not giving him away. We might find something to do as a giveaway on that stream, but might not even do that. Who knows? But nice, mate. Good luck. Have fun. Sarantis. 2 guys from latest commission done. He wants to do the base himself. Send him to Rival Crafts. I love these, dude. I love these. That kind of like lycra sort of leggings that the thrower's got. That's a really, really nice color against the purple. Real good job there, mate. Great skin tones. Yeah. There's room for freehand. I'm going to be a prick about this. Every time I see a bare shoulder pad now. There's room for freehand, there's room for a decal. Get some detail on. Obviously numbers to do. Weathering could be done. Team logo, you know. However, I get, for a commission, they get what they pay for. There's a limit to sometimes what people will pay for. These are great though, mate. I'd happily play with those minis. Looking sick. And that black blue is brilliant. That's kind of the way I do my blacks. I work a little bit of blue into it, and then go up to a grey to make it look a little bit more like black. But all the stuff he wants to do himself. damn. So he's like, here, you do the boring bit, then I'll do the fun bit. Sometimes you get those jobs, mate. I've done several Loyal 32s. I know exactly what it's like. So. Cowden, been working on a multi-purpose scenic display base for 25mm round bases. Oh, nice, dude. I mean, your base room is entirely the wrong color, but this is really cool. What did you use for the water? Like, what have you gone with this? Is this like the heavy gel? Girl painting like 3 picks per person seems fair. So that or less. It can either be stuff that's in progress or stuff you finished, you know. Give us your fucking greatest hits as long as it's only the top 3. Don't mind. Gel medium, I thought so, mate. I can tell just about by the way that it dries. Awesome stuff. I can give you one little tip. Get yourself some glass beads and some strong fishing twine. And what you do is you put down the heavy gel, which you've got at the base of the waterfall, creating like the spray and the foam. You take a little of that and you put it on the end of the fishing hook twine, and you pop a glass bead on that, and that will set it in. And then you put a bit on the other end when you're doing the spray, and it goes in there. And then you've got like splashes of water. I think I saw that on either a Miniac stream, which is possible, or there's a dude whose stuff I occasionally watch on YouTube that does a lot of like resin cast for water, and he's so good. He does these things like, you know, create like a scene that's underwater and pour the resin and then create waves that are curling up and over. It's goddamn, it looks impressive. This looks great, mate. Honestly, epic work. Nice job, mate. You could even use that for sci-fi as well. Nothing wrong with putting like some sort of infinity miniature or something else like that on that base. Type number 4, still to hit the eyes and probably clear some of the glow spots. Not Mohawk level skilled with the airbrush yet. That's okay, dude. It takes time. We know this. These are cool. These are cool. You could definitely do with more contrast on that blade. So let me grab one of mine. So if I just pop mine on screen a sec. Notice how we've got the brightest bit and the darkest bit, and there's a massive step between the two, right? And then we did that by coming back in with the black ink and just sort of firing through and getting rid of something. Like, look, right down here, that's super dark, nearly black itself. If we pop back to yours quickly, you could do with introducing that step in here. So you've got a few spots there where it's darker, but it's not dark. So I'd probably try and introduce some of that. It gives you that amazing contrast, and that, to me, always provides interest in a miniature, which I love seeing. Overall, though, mate, you've done a great job. Really, really good job. Still plenty of things to do. And then get your shades down, get your highlights down, but looking solid, mate. Looking very solid. Ken says, yeah, just to build the body, the base. Oh, yeah, I saw that one. Here's some warriors. Also nice, man. When you do the eyes, just get a couple of highlights on those ribs, too. That was one of the only things that we highlighted. We highlighted some of the gun for the OSL. We highlighted the eyes to make them glow, and we highlighted the top 2 ribs on each side. We took the time to do that on all of the Necrons, because that just pops that out a little bit more and gives it another set of interest. Right, T-Bone to the max. Just finished Ratty STL Fire kit bashing and printing. These look close enough to the original that I'm not like overly happy about that. So we'll move on. I get what you're doing. I have a hang up about 3D printing stuff that is basically like Games Workshop products. The rats themselves look great. The vehicles are a little too close for me. Toonie Sprues, bit of a throwback as I'm currently reading up the rules. Found this in my army case, my first major freehand. Think I used a toothpick for some of it. I know people used to do that for lettering. That isn't bad, dude. Like, I can't be mad at that. Yeah. I think that's good. I've never attempted anything close to that. So you're beating me on banners. This, I think, was the inspiration. Not bad, mate. Honestly. Actually not bad. Good work. Right, fish. Not painted much over lockdown with work stress and kids home. Not my finest paintwork, but just wanted it done for the table. You say not your finest paintwork, but it's clean. You've got your decals down. It's missing some highlights. But that's kind of it, really. Like a couple of small details, like some of the bits in the headlights need a little love, but solid, dude. With his mates. Oh god, I hope you get horrible, horrible like inflammation of the buttocks or something for painting this. Repulsor Executioners. Aren't they great, everyone? Aren't they great? They're not the worst thing ever. So, you know. Been half painted forever, just sick of looking at it. I understand that, mate. I understand that. He says looking at his half painted Grey Knight Librarian he's had since pre-lockdown. Frozen! How you doing, man? Get some love for Chris. Get that Frozen command going. I was telling everyone how gratified you were of the support you've had. People using your code. Like it though, fish. Right, Barry getting some goblin room eater. There's some sort of chieftain, I guess, maybe a shaman. I don't know. Some goblin thing. He looks cool. I like the green and the blue on the smoke. That looks good. That looks real good. How you doing, Chris? I'll show you what you've been working on this evening. So, over the last couple of streams, we've been painting an Imperial Fist. Here he is in all his fisty glory. And we love fists. We love painting yellow. Big fan of painting the yellow. And tonight we painted this. Because why not paint the Punisher skull and some laurel wreaths? Just for fun. Surprised at how well it came out. It's not perfect by any stretch, but it's solid. I like it. It's good. But that was this evening's work. We're going through the whip at the moment. Barry, I like the shaman, dude. Good use of colour. Yellow, purple. They go well together, obviously. That blue and green does it for me, though. Like, that's the thing. What you've done there is like, yes. There we go. Best part of the mini. Solid work. Right, girl painting. Nice. Yeah, very nice. I've got a suggestion for your battle damage, everything you've got here is super, super cool. With your battle damage, rather than outline all of the black that you've got there. So look at the like the main body of the bike, right? You've got your 28, and then to the front side of that, you've got those black lines coming in, right? The scrapes, paint scrapes. You've outlined all of that with a lighter grey, a highlight around the outside of it. I would, instead of doing that, just underline the bottom parts of it with grey. Because what you've got here looks quite good battle damage. If you just do the underside, it suddenly starts to look 3D. Because it looks like a light would only hit that one part underneath, and it wouldn't hit any of the top part as well. So that's where you've got the darker shade, and you've got that little highlight as well. What you've done is amazing, though. Although I've seen this in every single one of these bikes. I haven't built the kit myself, so hopefully someone in the stream can answer me on this one. The gigantic gap in the top section, you've got those two bolt guns, and you've got the cowling that goes on top of it. There's a massive gap in the middle of that on every single one of these I've seen. Is it meant to be? Or is it just the sprues aren't all that? I haven't worked it out. We've got yeses and nos. Is it a yes because the sprues are a fucker, or we've got lots of it shouldn't be a gap? Okay. Yeah, I think when I do mine, we're gonna milliput the shit out of it. Don't know. I love the chapter colour scheme you've got though. The grey and the bone, that looks awesome. The green that you've got glowing out of his eyes, very well done. Overall, I rate this pretty highly. Well done. The sprue is a fucker. Yeah, okay. Hey, we've got clay bricks. Love clay bricks. What's the chapter? What have you got here? I don't recognise it, but I'm not necessarily Mr. Astartes. It's not intentional, the book shows it 100% together. Great. Okay, cool. Because I've seen a load done by commissioned painters, and I've looked at it and gone, were you just a lazy bastard, or is it meant to be that way? Grey Spectres. That's a cool name. That is a cool name. And we've got some more of the Grey Spectres then here. These guys have seen some shit, let's be honest. This guy has not had a good war so far. He's a little bit battered. Yeah, great work. Have you thought about using weathering pigments at all? We use them a lot on stream here. It's one of my favourite things. Like, you'll see a lot of the stuff in the Instagram gallery down there. We've got pigments just helping to weather a miniature. Specifically on my own knights, there's a load of them on there. Really helps bed stuff in. Use them on the rust. Okay. Might be worth, like, on some of what you've got here on the, because they're going over black earth. Like, so as the wheel turns, obviously bins a load of crap in underneath. Just maybe getting a little bit of black in there, that sort of thing. And on here, where you've got the rust on the bases, this is metallic, not anything else. I love it. This is not a Space Marine, but another set of amazing weathering. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I also like the fact this isn't quite clearly just a load of that horrible, goopy, pre-contrast, contrast paint. Yeah, I like that. Very well done. Very, very well done. Worth that 4th pick for definite. Crossbowization, tourney ready. Still need some work. First 6 models painted with my airbrush. Upload being an issue. Okay. So Rich is coming to the event on Sunday. Cheers, Viking. Yeah, I get it. I do. You've already got a lot of weathering you've painted on there, so do you need that extra step? What's the deal with the gold, like, half end to their melters, Rich? Also, please feel free to just leave these at home. Fucking eradicators. Fucking eradicators. When these things are at 85 points a model. To all of you. All of you. Especially ones that are played as salamanders. They're supposed to be bronze. Are you going for a heat score, or are you going for just a two-tone look? I'm unsure. It doesn't look like heat scoring. Oh shit. Fish, when is that happening? For Monday. Okay. So that's fine, the tournament's fine. Well, that's a bit of a bollock. Right, I'll have to look at the news after the stream then, because that might affect my travel plans as well. That's great. It was supposed to be heat, kind of. Okay, Crosby, do you have an orange paint, a really offensively pink paint, and a blue paint? Because those three are how I do my heat scoring. So all the knights, all the guns on them, that's exactly the way it gets done. And as long as you sort of feather that through nicely, you're good. Yeah, you can go blue, purple, black. Like, I think it needs the orange to be introduced correctly. Certainly my motorbike, that was heat scoring over chrome, was orange, a little bit of yellowing. Mate, offensively pink is the key. Like, you need this. This is, oh, yes. Okay, have you got a red and a yellow? Because then you've got orange, mate. You can't, like, spin around that. But thin it right down. I'll grab a random gun. In fact, you've got slightly smoother blends on, so we'll take your Gatling gun. Thank you very much. So, Pilot Snowberry, how you doing? This is the way I do mine, alright? So you start with orange. You make sure the orange is so thin that it starts here, but you just don't really recognize it. It doesn't appear, really. But you get your orange down, and your orange goes all the way up. You get your pink down, starting here. That blends through and up. You get your blue down, that blends your purple in. And I go up to blue, because I really want the blue on this to contrast off everything I've got on here for my weathering. That then means that it also matches things like the OSL on my shield generators and so on. And I really like that look. If you want something slightly more realistic, every now and again the Leviathan Dreadnought I did for Nick will pop up in here. And he wanted heat scoring, he just didn't want it to be that cartoony. So for that one I went orange into pink into black, and that gave me like a dark purple for the end into black, but it still had that introduction of the orange heat. Because what you've got here almost looks like a cap on the end of the gun barrel, and I didn't think that was what you were going for. So give that a try just on some sprue with the airbrush, just practice that set of blends, and then when you're comfortable with it, give it a go on something like this. If you want to brush it on, because you're thinking, I'm hitting something that's like this with the airbrush, and you guys all know it's possible, alright? We do that sort of shit a lot here. Then glaze everything on. Like, thin it right down, and just glaze and glaze and glaze. Have fun with it. Other than that, mate, they're looking great. For the first time with an airbrush, you've done a banging job on these, so well done, mate. Right, Ent. Lord of Contagion, I am working on while on vacation. That's a nice blue. When you say on vacation, do you mean like away or just chilling out at home. So, I'm not going to click on the link. Please ask before sharing links. Just off work, everything is in closed state. So, oh shit. Well, that sucks, man. But hopefully, you're doing okay. Different metals heat different ways, with different kinds of heat, under different temperatures, different environmental conditions, and that's just 20th century metallics. If you go 38,000 years into the future, where they're actually not using anything that we use now, and they're fighting on a planet that has acid fog, you can do it however you like any way you like. Certainly, I've owned motorbikes, and they've had chrome exhausts that have not always been super shiny chrome. And you get a rainbow of colours on that. So you can do it any way. I like my way, super cartoony. I've done it other ways, like I said, that are not cartoony, just darker. But you do your hobby your way. That's the best thing about this hobby. Everyone's got their own particular path, and we can borrow from that. So it might be that you're doing something that's got a colour scheme that wouldn't work with this, but you still want to heat score something. You can do it a different way. Love the cloak, mate. Super vibrant. Love that juxtaposition against the dull green. Loving it. Sith. That's just about extreme appropriate. Barely. Nice, dude. More 3D printing, I assume. There's some big old greater demons. We've got a Leviathan, which you've, I'm assuming, at least 3D printed the storm cannons. Alright? How much of this is 3D printed, mate? Because I don't like a lot of that. And if this is 3D printed, then I'm just going to ask you to not put stuff in Discord from now on. That doesn't look 3D printed because the staff looks bent. Only the butcher cannons. Good stuff, mate. This is good. This is good. Definitely fine cast, as you can tell from the at the end. Is this Niall? I think. I can never remember their names. I think it's Niall Stormcaller. You look solid, dude. Nice work on the face. Yeah, happy days, man. Civilian Waffles. Just got to put the Tron lines on his back armor and base this one. Very, very sweet, mate. Some of your paint there is a bit on the thick side. You can see a little bit from this distance, really. Thin it down, take your time, do a couple of coats. That's just the way. Nigel Stormcaller. Fish, you were just too slow, man. Getting old. Happens to the best of us, right? I like it, mate. With the eyes, remember, we did a lot of glowing eyes on the Necronathon weekend. Just get that sort of mid-tone colour underneath the eye glazed up, and then just touch it with a little bit of the almost the same bright colour you use for the eyeball. You get a nice glowing effect, super simply, literally 2 to 3 brush strokes, and you're done. I know you're older than me, you're one of the only people here older than me, so that's why we occasionally, put you in a line of fire. Cake Fisk. He's getting his space dwarfs going on. We saw Crown Blades the other day. It's looking good. The guy on the left has clearly got a shock attack gun. Don't care what anyone says, that's a shock attack gun. I love the organ gun blunderbuss looking doodad. Yeah, these are cool, man. I like how how you've got a completely different color scheme from crown blades. I love the little sort of magenta-y, purpley pink. Kicks off against the gold quite well. I like it. "48 ain't old," says Calden. Like, I thought it was really fucking old 10 years ago, and now I think it's a lot less old. And then we've got one of the boats. Damn, man. Getting right on there with that scenic base. That's a very colourful boat as well. It's nice, dude. It's nice. Needs a little bit more, like, just contrast on it. So, like, the main part of, like, the top hull, I don't know boats. As Kenny would say, I ain't a boat scientist. The cabin, I guess, on top of the boat, you could do with just getting a wash, just pin wash in some of those areas, so some of the detail just stands out a little bit more. There's a lot that is being lost in the background. Now, that could just be the photo, so apologies if it is. But definitely a little bit of a wash, just brought in some of those areas, darkened some of them down, would just help bring that detail to life a little bit more. On a model this big, when you've done this much work to the base, you want people to be looking at it and roaming all over it with their eyes, trying to find the extra hidden bits that you've painted. And that's just one quick trick to get that to happen a little bit easier for them. Nice work. Right, Des, these ones have been filled, but probably still need more. Yeah, you can still see those lines. Oh, that's super gash. Alright, when I do mine, I'm going to have to really go to town on that, and there will be no line. Get some milliput, thin it down. Came with that base. I thought all of that was custom. So, well done, mate. Snowberry. Started painting my Toaster Lover after finishing my Skull Taker. Nice. I do like the Admech characters. The Magus looks sick. I certainly prefer this to the Fat Man. The Manipulus. Getting started though, man. It's good. I'm trying to work out if that gun is unundercoated. Nice little servo skull. Quality. Or not. Nice red. Yeah, trying to work out if that gun's just been like stuck on afterwards. It could have been. Either that or you've undercoated it in grey and just managed to not touch it with anything else. Oh, that's it. We're out. We're all whipped out. Thank you to all of you for sharing your work. Oh, it's got a coat of grey on it. That makes sense. Thank you to all of you for sharing your work. Tonight we did this. Very happy with our freehand. Going to finish this off stream, just a little bit of pigment on the base. And then Sam can pick this up at the weekend. On the next stream, which is Thursday night, we'll be working on this big motherfucker. To give you some idea of the scale, here's his hair. He has bigger hair than a Scorpec dude. The things that Magnus's hair is bigger than are numerous. That there are lots and lots of things bigger than Magnus's hair. I think that's actually longer than a rhino. This is one absolute big lad. Can't wait to get started on this. We probably won't do the wings to begin with. We'll probably just work on the main body of Magnus. Between now and Thursday, we've got a load of gaps to fill. We've got a load of mold lines to take off. There's so much work to do between now and then. But we're going to be doing a bit of work on this guy. We're doing Magnus the blue. Not the red. We've got a bag of sub-assembly bits there as well. It's going to be a bit of a project. So we're going to do one set of stuff. Like we'll do all the skin, for instance. Varnish that, take that off of glasses, mount the next lot, go on from there. Because Otherwise, I'll end up with bits of Magnus fucking everywhere, and it's carnage when that happens. So that's Thursday. Excuse me, that's Thursday night's stream. Let's go find someone that's still streaming now. Throw a raid their way. So, who have we got on? Jimmy the Brush is still working? No. Yeah, Christ, he is. He's on a late one. He is on a late one. Why not? Let's go raid Jimmy. It's been a while. So give Jimmy some love. Spam those emotes if you've got them. Get ready in the stream. And I will see you guys on Thursday night, where we're going to not only be painting Magnus, but we will be doing the list review for this weekend's Bad Luck Brawl event. We'll see you there live at 9. Peace out, everyone.